I like, before signing a bill, I like to hear kind of the story, because I'm familiar with it, having read, some of the committee hearing work and reading the bill, but somebody wanted to talk about the story behind how this came to be. Senator Meyer, Bill Stoltz.
Well, I'll start with the bill itself. It had to do with athletic trainers, and then it
morphed. Much like happens.
As you know, Governor, the bills changed during the process, and Representative Stoltz had asked if he could amend my bill that basically was just going to license athletic trainers, but it also dealt with head concussions as well. Mm-hmm. And then Representative Stoltz had asked if he could deal with the issue with homeschool kids and kids that aren't part of the regular public school process and get them involved in athletics as well. And I'm going to let Bill explain what went there.
Like most things in the legislature, was kind of a convoluted, twisted process. We had House Bill 369, which was dealt with the brain concussion, which Gary Matthews from ASAA at the School Activities Association had approached me with, and I had the other issue that we didn't have a retroactive provision, but it caught my attention after the Chugach Mustangs lost eligibility for the state tournament through an administrative issue, and it had always been, in my opinion, that there should be broader latitude for non-traditional school students to participate in athletics and other scholastic programs. And this was, I think, the publicity of Chugach's plight fueled that. Had been Wes Keller and others, and I had pushed the issue, but this, I think the publicity and the vehicles all pushing together made this happen this year. And Chugach didn't go to the state tournament last year, but these guys acquitted themselves and probably learned a lot more important life lessons, and the Hall of Fame awarded them with the Sportsmanship Award, the first ever Trajan Langley Sportsman Award. And I think Cody was a pretty eloquent spokesman. He could probably...
Yeah, Cody, why don't you go ahead and talk about how this came to be from your team end?
Well, I don't know where to begin on this one. I think it was week 6. We were coming off a loss to Diamond after our senior night, and a couple days later, we were getting ready for practice, and our coach comes in before practice, calls us back off the field, sits us all down, and normally you're thinking, oh, somebody got in trouble, somebody got in a fight, something like that. But he brings in our vice principal, and he sits us down and says that we've been playing with an ineligible player, Craig Lowe. He's a homeschooler. Apparently he was homeschooled in the Galena school district, and that obviously made him ineligible to play. And we had missed it, or he had missed it in his eligibility check process, and told us we had to forfeit the 3 wins that we had from earlier in the season. And at that point, it was too late to kind of reconcile the season. It was too far out of our reach.
Yeah, that'd be awful to hear. But,
yeah, needless to say.
But the parameters of the bill, it's not to give a wide, just a blanket ability for anybody to participate, but you have to be within your own school district, let alone the school district, your own attendance area. It's not to create a vehicle for kids to hop from school to sport, but it's to just to give students that are participating in the less than traditional educational programs. Many of them are state programs, even just. It really clears up an ambiguity, sets a state policy that our schools are open to all students, and the extracurricular activities under some guidelines with some real good sideboards, which ASA wasn't enamored with this, but they helped us make it a bill that would work, and that's I appreciated that. So carrying the brain concussion bill and this together, and like some of the things that the athletic trainer bill, there were some problems with that. And very magnanimously, Senator Meyer allowed us to use his bill to carry the other issues, even though they weren't his issues, and it's very unusual in the legislative dynamic. So I appreciated him allowing his bill to go forward.
Well, if it wasn't a good amendment you were trying to make to my bill, I wouldn't have supported it. But I truly believe in what you're doing in trying to make athletics, sports available to all kids statewide. So hey, it's a good bill, and
Any of the
appreciate
other-
your support, Gary.
Any of the other three players want to say something, or did Cody kind of sum it up for you? He covered it?
They do this to me a lot.
They
I'll
point
let
at
you
you
know.
and say, well, I think this is one of those moments where a life disappointment can actually turn into good for someone else down the road. And just proud of you guys for even making this a priority just personally for each one of you, because it's not going to benefit you, but it will benefit others behind you. And that really is something that happens in life. And if you can actually look at ways to make it a better place for someone else, for an injustice or for a bad experience of your own, it's a key life lesson. So I'm going to sign this, and if you guys can gather up and around, I've got, you're going to see kind of the miracle of bill signing here.
This is the shop. You want your folks to see you and look
So what we do is we sign an authentication page. This is actually the bill signing, so I put a date here. See, I get some help. So people, Heather over here, our legislative director, helps me make sure, and her staff makes sure I know what date it is. So the bill gets signed here, and then it's already been authenticated by Gary Stevens, the president of the Senate, and Mike Chenault, the Speaker of the House, that the bill that's part of this package is the actual bill. I also send transmittal letters, one to the Senate president, one to the Speaker of the House, letting him know I signed this bill. It's now law. The tricky part is I want each of you guys to have a pen, so I'm going to have to sign my name a few different ways with these pens. So I'm going to start. I'll start by dating and signing here. All right, May 29. Yeah, see? I'm going to mix them up so you don't know.
Too good, huh? Too bad your name's not longer.
It's plenty long, but... Well, thank you, Ben.